album David and I did together, a little EP. It turned out amazing over at GPI.
Oh
Yeah, it turned out so good. I was shocked.
Did y'all put it on on 8-track or?
It actually right now having a lathe cut vinyl made.
Hey y'all, welcome back to SJGames Live. I'm Hunter. I'm here with Phil. This is our CEO, Phil. Welcome to the stream. You don't get to come
Thank
on very
you.
often.
I don't come on often.
We are going to be doing some hobby here today. I know normally we'd have Ben for hobby sis, but Ben's at home with COVID. Get well soon, Ben. But Phil brought in something really cool. This is actually Squarescape terrain. These are 3D printed elements that are to make dungeons. Essentially.
Yes.
If you go to the turntable, Brandon, you can see a close up of one of the pieces. These have been primed already, so we actually have a layer of paint on them. But obviously, when you 3D print, they're just printed whatever.
Yeah, and I just use basic Krylon primer. I mean, nothing fancy at all.
And these are resin printed, right?
These are resin printed. Steve actually printed all of these.
Yep. So these have been 3D printed Squarescape. We did Hexscape as well, which is hex based, but the same general concept where you essentially have 3D printable dungeon tiles that you can make dungeons out of. There are little clip things on the side. There's printable clips as well. And yeah, you just make a dungeon out of it. This is going to be something we're going to be coming out with. We have actually done a kind of a pre-launch. If you were at FNORDCon or saw the sale from FNORDCon, we did a little bit of a kind of a test and alpha for the product. People are getting their stuff now. I believe we're getting it shipped out now. And yeah, this is hopefully gonna be something we'll be able to put out in a more wide way in the future. That's at least the goal.
This will definitely be a Kickstarter at some point later this year.
Yeah, we don't have an exact date or anything like that, but this is something that we're really excited about. So if you have any questions about it, we figure we have Phil here. We can do some Q&A.
But we do have an exact date for Pathfinder Revolution on Kickstarter, which is hiding near Hunter.
Yeah, I just got this copy and I'm very excited to have it. So I thought I'd put it on set with us here. Pathfinder Revolution, I believe that's July 18th now. Yeah, so we're going to be launching that on July 18th on Kickstarter. And if you're interested in something right now, we have NanoGames is ending literally hours from now, very, very soon. Phil, I think you made those games, right? That was you.
Those are Steve Designs for the NanoGames, and then I did the production work, like the graphic design and layout.
The actual layout, which
because it's a different format for us. It's a folding map that goes down to a credit card size.
Oh, that's awesome.
So they're super portable.
They're nano size for NanoGames. They're really quick, fast. If you played, we've done it on stream here, Random Fun Generator. It's kind of like some of the short stuff from that game system, like the 1-page type rules from that. So yeah, those are available now. It has funded, so it will be getting out there. And that was a really short campaign, nano campaign for NanoGames, essentially. So
that was extremely short. It launched Monday and closes today.
Yeah, so it's a really fast one. In case you missed it, it is closing really soon. So jump on that if you're interested. But yeah, Pathfinder Revolution, very excited about that. And you can expect to see quite a bit of it. We're probably going to be playing mostly Pathfinder Revolution throughout the month of July, to be completely honest, because I want to play that game.
I'm looking forward to
a
that.
lot, and
Yeah,
I'm really excited to play it.
This is such a great evolution of Revolution, where we just took the best pieces of all the expansions and created an entirely new edition.
Yeah.
And it looks gorgeous.
Oh, it looks
Looks
great.
Yeah.
We may be doing it as soon as next week, to be completely honest, so keep an eye out for that.
Also next week is the Penny Arcade Car
Yeah.
Wars.
It's on Tuesday, not Thursday.
Yeah, so
Tuesday.
our streams are on Thursday. Penny Arcade is doing a stream. It's 5:00 Central, 3:00 Pacific their time. Will Schoonover is going to be on the stream with them. They're going to be playing Car Wars. He can answer your questions about Car Wars. You can see some Ben's painted minis. I sent those up to Seattle to for them to have fun with. So should be a blast. If you've never had a chance to check it out, Penny Arcade streams are really high quality and fun. So they're gonna be fun to watch, I think. So
Yeah.
I think that covers all the fun news topics. But like I said, if you guys have any questions, we're just gonna be hobbying and having some fun. Doing our normal hobby thing. You have questions about the Squarescape, Hexscape, whatever the case may be. We have the CEO of the company here, so it's a good time to ask stuff for about our stuff.
I didn't bring my good eyes, but I can still
You
talk.
brought some eyes.
I brought the best eyes I've got.
So the plan is we're not doing anything super specific or consistent. Since it's 3D printable, we can literally print out however many we want. So we're going to do some tests, different paints and stuff like that, whatever intrigues us to that.
Yeah, we want to try some different color schemes and just see what looks cool, rather than trying to stick to the traditional just gray on gray dungeons.
Yeah.
I was telling Hunter earlier, I kind of want to be inspired by like old school Hero Quest tiles, or maybe Firetop Mountain board game, or the old dungeon board game, where the colors look awesome. They're not what you would think of as a traditional dungeon, but they still look cool.
Firetop Mountain. That's a
Yeah. That old board game is just awesome.
It is.
I need to play it out, bring it out and play it again. This weekend, though, I'm going to be getting together with some people. We're going to play Escape the Dark Castle again.
Ooh.
Which, if you haven't played that, you need to, because it is the best choose your own adventure board game that is not officially a choose your own adventure game. But it looks incredible. Jimmy, do you have any questions?
Are we doing Pathfinders on the SJGames Kickstarter account? Or will we?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll drop a link you can follow us on Kickstarter, and you should be able to get a notification when that comes out in
I think
July.
these are like silvers and gunmetals.
Can I borrow some of these?
Yeah, totally. Use anything you want.
Have you played Escape the Dark Sector, Phil?
Not yet.
Oh,
I
adds,
do have a
laser
copy.
guns, ranged weapons.
I've got it, but we haven't had a chance to play it yet. Escape the Dark Castle. First time we played that, me and my wife were on vacation with Justin and Anne-Marie from Fireside. We went down to the coast, had a nice little weekend there, and it was about 11 o'clock on a Saturday, and we're like, oh, we're going to turn in, but let's take a look at this game real quick. The plan was to look at it. And then a couple hours later, when we finished playing it, we're like, that was super fun. It's just so streamlined and fast. And we lost the game because Justin's character died, so I still hold him responsible for that.
That seems par for the course.
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of what happened with the first time you found Revolution too?
The first time I found Revolution, I thought Randy and I were going to get into a fight. Because the original edition of Revolution used a card deck.
You loved the cards. I remember you loved the cards.
I figured out pretty fast that if I didn't focus on the board,
AKA didn't play the game.
and no, I was playing the game, just not the way the designer thought anybody would ever play the game. Because he had thought the way it would work is people would just use the cards as kind of I've got this extra gold, I'll just get a card or something. And he never once imagined that somebody would say, oh, I'm going to put everything I have into just getting the cards. Because what the cards did was gave you random things, like you'd get just extra support, or you'd get some extra currency. And if you sunk all your resources into getting cards, Next thing you know, you're at like 300, 400 points, and everybody else is around 100 points.
Well, because the card, you also couldn't get blocked on the cards.
Right.
And
Yeah, while they're fighting over the board itself, I'm just raking in points, playing with the cards.
we couldn't find a good way to make that not the case, which is why the cards came out of the game.
The cards are not in the game.
Yeah, so if you've ever played Revolution like I have, I was actually very interested in finding out that there was like that different element to it, which makes sense why it was removed. And that's why development's important, kids.
Yes. Though I still have the original version with the cards.
You actually shared the picture of that.
I
box
did share
compared to
that
our new
picture,
one.
yeah.
It's changed so much.
It's so
since early
dramatically
days.
different. But it was first published 2007 or 2008. And when Philip Duberry published it, he hand-assembled and made all these games. And I think he sold 30 or 40 before
But you
I had
picked
a
it up at
chance to
like
play.
I didn't know those were actually
Protospiel, wasn't it?
published. That's
It
cool.
might have been Protospiel.
because everybody
Yeah.
you see you took it, you picked it up because it looked interesting. You took it up to the hotel room and you went to bed way too late, playing it with somebody.
Yeah. It's really fun.
I-
And I'm glad we're bringing it back.
Me too.
It's like I said before the stream started, my favorite SJGames game that we've made.
It does look incredible.
And this new one looks so good. The fantasy theme really works for it as well. I'm
No,
excited.
Paul, you're not the only one who doesn't paint, but we have quite a few people here who do.
What's that?
Paul asked if everybody painted minis but him.
I don't think so.
It's definitely something that's picked
I
up
have
around here. I mean,
a
I
couple
think
of mine painted.
Steve really gets.
I'm gonna-
It's kind of funny. We go into
That's not done, but I'm going to throw it up there just to see.
when you go into meetings with Steve, he'll sometimes
Wow.
just be painting stuff on side. Oh wow, that looks cool.
Oh.
What color did you use for that?
It's Army Painter Void Shield Blue.
That's a cool blue.
It's way more intense on there than it is in person.
It's ethereal looking though. Looks
Yeah, it's almost like a shimmery. That was not what I expected to see on camera. It like glows.
cool. Yeah,
It,
looks.
it picks up the light a lot. I could tell from looking at it here in person. It picks up the light, the studio lights, very, very brightly.
Yeah.
It's actually a lot more blue in person.
Would it photograph that way, you think?
I think it photographs pretty similarly. I'm looking at it from here. It's a little brighter. I think it's picking up a little reflection more than a regular paint. But I think it is pretty blue. It's just it looks
Yeah.
more white on the screen.
Yeah,
I think,
it looks more white on the
I
screen.
think that it probably wouldn't photograph unless there's a flash on it. Like right there in that looks more accurate to me. Where it's like kind of rotating away, that looks very similar.
Yeah.
Looks like.
Put a couple things of paint next to it with some other colors.
That's
and
true. Get a
the
different
camera
balance in
might
there.
auto color
Yeah.
a little differently.
Oh, like if you just put another color beside it, kind of.
I don't think it's auto coloring though. I think it's just
Something's
the
going on
flush
because
and
that
something.
It has
purple
a
is,
auto
like,
white
super
That's auto white
nice.
balance, yeah.
So
There it
Yeah.
is. With the shadow on it, that looks a little more accurate. It looks good. I like that color.
But now that we put the other color up there, I can see that it's definitely not color accurate on
Yeah.
that camera. The cool thing is just the primered pieces themselves on the camera almost look like old school Castle Grayskull.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So close. But now I'm
It
curious.
was a lot more smoother than bricks, though. Like it was a lot more like stones. Than
Yeah,
bricks.
big stones.
I had Castle Grayskull and Snake Mountain growing up.
Oh,
so
okay.
they were
Fancy
cool.
pants. Oh,
Cool.
I had Castle Grayskull and Snake Mountain. I also had Sega Channel for my Genesis, and
No.
I still have a Castle Grayskull. And
I
it is
was-
the original, and it is in my living room.
I was getting I started getting the He-Man Origins figures that they were coming out with.
Those look awesome.
I ended up having to stop because I got far enough in where I was like, I'm gonna be a very completionist about that, so I can't do it.
Did you go after the wrestling?
I almost did. I was very tempted on those. That was a cool.
That was a weird idea, but it worked out great.
It kind of harkened back to when they were doing a lot of those weird crossovers back in like when Toys R Us was still open. They would do stuff like zombie wrestlers and things like that. I just like it when action figures do fun stuff like that, like interesting, fun crossovers. I kind of miss that.
Well, they have a Top Gun Transformers.
I didn't like the way it ended up looking, so I passed on it. But I almost got that. I got a lot of those crossover ones.
It came with a volleyball, so I got it.
Yeah, I was very tempted because of the volleyball.
it transform as well?
Oh yeah,
It does,
It's
yeah.
it's an F-14, and
I think it's an F-14.
yeah, it's an F. Oh,
No.
it does have a helmet though on its.
Can we
when
see
it's
how
in
that
robot
green
mode.
looks on camera as well? Yeah, something weird is going on with that.
Yeah, it's probably trying to get white off of the newsprint. So if you put something with a white cap on there as well,
Okay.
it might adjust a little bit more accurately.
Or throw that that palette up there.
That palette up there.
Give it a significant amount of white to balance against.
Yeah, just brought it right back down. Actually.
That's weird.
That's way more accurate.
There we go. That's more what it looks like in person.
Because that newsprint is like a off-white, and it will
Yeah.
skew the color.
And it's messing
If
the
the camera
colors up.
thinks that's the whitest thing. in
Try
the frame.
zooming in on just the black then, because it may just if we cut those back corners off, we just may have to use less of the turntable. You know what I'm talking about?
That looks weird.
Yeah.
The thing is, the blue and the green paints that I use there look very similar on camera. Huh.
We're hitting the limitations of
Clearly, then
capture
the answer is we
technology.
have to use something dramatically outside of the blues and greens range.
Well, I'm doing like kind of a traditional gray tile, but doing with like green mossy color and some of this wash. Or
There's
some of this
Hunter
wash.
being all traditional on us.
I know. I want to do a yellow one. I think though.
Go for it.
I'm interested in seeing how the yellow looks. I really like the texture that we made for these because it's really it's really well textured. It takes the dry brushing really
Yeah,
well.
it helps a lot. It makes it so much faster to paint,
Yeah.
especially if you just make it look iridescent like it does on camera. But I'm going to try a red. Who knows? Maybe it's a dungeon that's seen some things.
Do you have any other questions in chat by chance?
Let's check through here.
Just don't miss anybody.
There's some discussion about how long people have been painting,
Oh, nice.
how long it's been since some people have painted.
Yeah.
Back when Raul Partha was a thing.
Oh yeah, man! Don't bring up Raul Partha without Ben here. He'll get mad at us. He loves Raul Partha. I talk to Ben about old sculpts all the time because I kind of give him a bit of grief about being an old guy when it comes to like minis and stuff. But he loves Raul Partha in particular.
Like old school 70s, 80s Raul Partha? Or is he more the 90s kind
I think he's more the '90s aesthetic.
Because they do get dramatically different.
Yeah,
He's
they get.
probably not old enough to go for the 70s and 80s ones.
Yeah, well,
But I remember those when I was a kid, though.
Did you just
I
call me
remember seeing-
old?
No, I mean we're about the same age.
I mean, it depends on
doesn't
if
even
he
make sense.
collected the
There's
classics
no
when he was
way
young
you're
or
my
not.
age. Why do I have so much gray hair?
Because Brandon's a warlock.
Oh, got it.
That's
Have
true.
you
I
not
am a
seen-
warlock.
Have
so.
you not seen
I've
our
got
two
red hair.
IT guys? These guys are like, they've said their age, but I'm pretty sure they're both like 207, and they're just like never going to age.
So, folks, we're gonna have to cut the stream early. Hunter has to disappear for a bit.
They're just unaging homunculi. It's never gonna happen. Oh yeah, I like the way this wash came.
I blame everybody around me for my hair. Yeah, that's how I'm going to do it.
It's fair.
Okay, now I'm curious.
Yeah, Robert Bob said he was one of the chats says they were 90s Raul Partha and a lot of BattleTech.
Well, yeah.
These are looking so weird on camera. Like, it doesn't look like that in person.
I think maybe now that we've got just to the black, we might be able to take the white balance thing off.
Yeah, you're looking at a monitor, and if you're not straight on with the monitor, it
Yeah.
can skew the colors.
Or maybe I'm just dumb. Weird. Okay. Don't really need that anymore.
Yeah, so I think it's actually catching it better now that it's just all black and it's not catching any of this sheet. See, because it changed when that.
Yeah,
light
I
gap
saw
came
that.
in.
The whole thing just like
Yeah.
flashed slightly.
good red.
Red's definitely a weird choice for a dungeon.
It is, but there's some like I kind of like the color coding that kind of stuff sometimes.
Right?
Where like there'd be a red area,
A red
blue
area,
stuff like that.
yeah.
If I'm for maybe not for like if I'm doing a display or something like that, but maybe for game purposes, if you're like, okay, you guys have a choice, you can go down this aisle or this aisle. It's like an obvious red or blue
Can take
option
the
kind of thing.
red passage or the
Yeah.
blue passage.
For like gameplay purposes, could be a cool little addition. I'm going to try. See how these yellows and stuff work out. 'Cause I think definitely want to use the flesh color. I think. Let me go with brown though.
I feel like I'm painting more now that 3D printing's a thing.
Yeah, I can see that. I've been just painting more in general simply because I have been back. Like it's just in general. Like I know it's kind of cliche to be into it from the pandemic, but like it's kind of just lined up perfectly that you're at home more, and I was getting back into painting again anyway. So it was like, yeah, I should have more time on my hands. I wasn't going out and doing stuff as much. It's been nice.
Your rodent Bob says red dungeon walls would work for fire bricks or modern day stuff.
True.
It also works for previously explored dungeon where it didn't get finished explored.
Well, I'm going to do something completely stupid and try plate mail metal.
Ooh,
That should be shiny.
that is going to be interesting.
It's going to look like you have to raid this dungeon to steal all the silver bricks.
Eric says he has a few of the old red box Ralpartha sets, but the box is cooler than the minis.
Oh, those old Grenadier sets from the late 70s, early 80s where they had like gorgeous covers and you open it up, it's like, what's this lumpy flat thing? How are you both completely blobby and two-dimensional all at the same time?
Yeah, there's some funny like real old sculpts. There's definitely some like I'm sure nostalgia associated with it, but I've never really been into the really old stuff.
Some of those get so flat.
Yep.
Okay, this just got weird.
Oh, what did you do?
I wanted to see what that plate mail metal was going to look like on the... And I just put it right over the red.
It's red and metal. Somebody
Yes.
had a very bad time near that dungeon.
I mean, it definitely is metallic. It looked white. I was like,
Yeah,
okay.
it looked like
It's reflection. It's
shiny.
reflecting.
Here it comes.
Yeah, it definitely looks okay. I'm seeing the metallic more now.
That's weird.
Yeah, it came out interesting. And that actually looks pretty accurate to what it looks like to me.
I don't think that's the color to use.
No, you know what though? That's what we're doing here is experimenting. This is very much the Bob Ross happy little dungeon going on.
Well, and now I'm just doing colors on top of colors because what do I
just-
care?
We're just gonna.
Aiken
Cool.
says he's definitely older than Ben. 80s Ralpartha all the way.
80s Ralpartha?
Yeah,
That 8990, the AD&D second edition Ralpartha minis line was pretty cool.
I found a bunch of. I should have picked them up, but I found a bunch of the Ralpartha and West End Star Wars minis.
I've got a lot
At
of
a half
those.
price books recently.
Those are Grenadier.
Yeah,
Yep. They're so horrible.
yeah, they're not great. The Star Wars ones especially are rough.
Then they tried to do that Star Wars minis game. Weston Games tried.
I remember
in the
that.
90s.
I didn't. I don't remember when it like came out, but I've seen it in the rule book for it in stores.
I remember very well. We played the hell out of those Star Wars games. The
It looked cool, like the cover looked cool, but the game when I was flipping through it, I was like, I see
That- this one's yeah, it's some sort of, it's a purpley lavendery.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is
if
what
you
we
guys-
used on the Hexcape.
If you saw any pictures from NordCon, we had another hobby there that wasn't on stream. It was just
I feel like I just made a color shift dungeon.
we do have color shift paints on if you want to try them out. Yeah.
Did you watch this thing on camera though as it comes around? Because the way the light hits it and the colors, it just gets really bizarre.
It
You've
does-
got the turbo dork.
Yeah.
It does kind of go like red, but then shifts into like a.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Here we go.
I think you've accidentally created, like, I think you have actually painted the concept of what a turbo shift kind of paint is. Yes, because I like the idea is that the flex and stuff in there do that,
But putting
to
way
it.
more effort into
But
it
you,
than if I just
you
used
have
their paint.
accidentally extensively recreated paints in a slightly worse way.
Well, at least I did something.
Yes.
The 80s Raw Partha fan says they're Gene.
They're what?
Gene. It's a Phyllis is Gene.
Oh.
That was a long time ago, the 80s.
Here's Raw Barf is cool. I just not my nostalgia. A lot of my mini nostalgia comes from the '90s in general, because that's when I started like Warhammer and went to my first GW stores, and it was that weird transitional period in the late '90s where everything was like, if something that, like, all the stuff that became new is now obviously old and people have their own nostalgia for it, but like the new stuff was coming out and like everything was like, ooh, have you ever heard of plastic minis, guys? And everyone was like freaking out. Like every army had like a plastic unit. Like everything's a plastic now, but back then it was like, whoa, do you know you get Skaven clan rats in plastic?
That's where
And I was
like
like, whoa, what's plastic?
when I was doing it, like the 2 units that you had to have tons of in the Skaven army came in plastic. Everything else was still metal.
Oh yeah, dude.
like-
So that's actually one of my favorite things. So you played Skaven. I played Skaven. That was my first Warhammer army.
Yep.
Do you remember Poison Wind Globadiers?
Yes, I love painting those.
So
guys.
Poison Wind Globadiers are, I think, now the official oldest model still in use in Warhammer. I had back when we played Poison Wind Globadiers. They came in blisters of like one.
It was just
You got like
single guy,
a single
yeah.
guy, and it costs like, even back then, like $650 or something like that. Something like that.
$6
Because they were
$7,
in metal. And they are still a model that you can use currently right now in Age of Sigmar for Skaven. Obviously, the price has gone up. They're like probably like $20 now, I think, for the single model, and you can take them in units, and it's the same thing. It's just in resin now.
$20. That sounds cheap.
Yeah, well, if you saw the model, you wouldn't think they were fun, but
That late 90s was fun though, because you had Armor Cast doing those
Yeah.
giant pieces.
I just liked. I was a big fan of. It was just an interesting time because you had the aesthetics of that new plastic stuff coming out, but you had like all the metal stuff that was on the walls, like racks of it. So like a lot of like this original stuff you would see was like just really 80s looking stuff because it had lasted through most of the 80s and 90s. It was just really interesting to me.
Well, now I have to throw this blue up there and see what kind of crazy thing that looks like on camera. Yeah, there's something weird about it because it's not that shimmery in person.
You're creating literal magic over here.
I mean, take a
Well,
look.
you are also behind all the lights.
Right?
There's
Oh,
also-
so I'm seeing a subdued
You're not
because I'm
seeing it
getting
when
the
it's-
shadowed.
You're getting the
side.
shadow side,
Yeah.
not the direct reflection side.
So that's what it looks like.
It looks pretty bright. It's if because I'm catching it as it's coming around,
Uh-huh.
and when it's facing the light, it looks pretty similar to that. It's not too far off. I'm getting that because from this side you can barely tell.
Yeah, this side it's like a very subdued.
It's just we're not directly in the
basic
lights
blue.
back there. Yeah, no, it's a pretty bright blue. 'Cause
Okay.
when I'm catching it from this side, yeah, it looks it's pretty close.
How's yours looking?
I did this one. It's still
Let's throw
drying.
it.
It's still drying up,
not-
but it's gonna wash on.
It's not quite as bright over here as on the
That
camera,
one is
but
kind of like
still.
mossy brownish kind of going on underneath there. There's a wash on top, so it's really still drying. But yeah, I'm gonna try following that up with a little more green and stuff. I wanted to go something messy and kind of less gray, more brown. This one I'm doing yellow just to see what it looks like. 'Cause I don't know. I'm doing a lot of dry brushing though. So.
Here's a gunmetal. Yeah, if that's what that blue looks like in person, then the place where I'm at is giving me nothing near a realistic take on
It's
the
not that
colors.
bright. It's still brighter on camera than
It's
in
still
person.
definitely brighter. It's just it's giving you. I'd say it's less reflective.
I can still get more blue on it than you're seeing
Okay, then on the camera.
on the camera shot. Yeah.
I could see with the floor. I'm doing a yellow on this one. I think with this, I definitely do like a lantern in this room.
We are probably white balanced more towards the warmer colors, just because most of our filming is people.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I understand.
And there's always the if we were doing a ton, like if we were doing painting all the time, we'd probably do a lot more fixed white balance settings and stuff like that to try to get fully accurate.
If we were doing a
color productions.
lot of painting on camera, you'd probably want to set up a different room just for that, so you could do some over the shoulder.
Yeah,
We've actually talked
cameras.
about doing some different camera angles.
Yeah. And we probably also smaller table with closer in cameras too.
Okay. Will you be able to play Pathfinder Revolution here?
Oh yeah.
We can play Car Wars there.
You won't do a 6-player game though.
No, we'll probably Pathfinder Revolution. I think I'd probably do 3 to 4 on that. We definitely could show off the 6-player board, but I think the stream might go a little too long if we did that big of a count in general.
And the other thing to keep in mind is when the Kickstarter launches, the game is only 3 and 4 player.
Yeah, it is an unlockable. Our tooling sample has we have a tooling sample that is like, if we made this game, this is like the premier version of what we wish it would be, but the costs are going to be one of those things where it depends on how well a project does to determine if we can get there. Hopefully we can. That's the goal. I mean, obviously we want it to get there. It's a stretch goal, but we if we have to make it 3 or 4 players, we will. We want it to exist. Essentially, we want the base. We want the game to exist again because we've been wanting to put out Revolution for a while. I think.
I like it as a 5 or 6 player game. It's my favorite version of it, personally.
It works great, and I really hope we can get there because in the long run, it's more cost efficient for everybody. Us, gamers, if it is just integrated at the beginning, but we do have to cover those costs.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
And the freight costs on that one's going to be ridiculous these days. Like, we're still 2.5 to 3 times on freight what we used to pay before the pandemic.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's down a lot because Hunter just told me he didn't want to talk about shipping, and here I am talking about shipping.
I was worried that was all we would get questions on.
Do you want to talk about extremely upgraded versions of games? Did you see the
Suro?
Suro?
Yeah, I did. I did not back it.
Neither did I. Part of me for just a moment, I was like, ooh, and then I'm like, no, that's not something I should do right now.
I enjoy Suro.
I
think it's a great game.
I think that is a fantastic
it looks,
ultimate if you're looking for
if you are
parlor
a
high-end
fan
parlor game
of Suro and want that's a game that you play regularly and you want that kind of put this in your den, put this in your game room, it stays out all the time.
There was a game. There was a pirate game a long while back that some friends and I play tested.
Tortuga or whatever.
No, I don't remember what it was called. The original company was Front Porch Games, but I don't know if that's who eventually put it out or not.
They made a bunch of games like that. I remember that.
That was their thing, was making parlor game style
stuff,
games.
Are they the ones who did the big wooden Risk set?
I don't think
stuff like that.
They might have sub-licensed.
That's their style. They always wood and metal for the pieces, always big boards, usually large storage containers and stuff.
So I went with the red. So something like this. If I had a 3D printed torch or something on the wall, I would essentially do the rocks like that, where it looks kind of like there's
there's some light.
Yeah, you do that an effect.
The floor looks cool.
Have that be the tile where the torch is,
exactly,
and fade out on other ones.
And you can do it in different radiuses. I just wanted to do the whole floor, so I want to do the whole thing. But you could easily do fire on a wall like that. And you can do it smoother. I did it with a yellow and then an orange, but if you did it just like one color passes, it did
Do you have a
like
green on there?
yellow there. No green on that one, just yellow
So
and
that's
just yellow, and then I mixed the yellow and the red with the orange.
Okay.
Oh, I like that. What color did you do on those rocks?
I don't know.
I think I'm gonna try color shift that. I want to.
Gunmetal.
Okay, so that's metallic. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do a metallic too. I'm gonna try one of the. I'm gonna do a pull out of the Turbo Dork box of fun. See what I get
I'm
here.
gonna use this gray. I'm gonna throw it over the gunmetal.
Oh, that's fun. So some of the stuff that we did for the paint, when Turbo Dork brought paint over, it was like paint that not the paint was fine, but the reason they couldn't sell it for some reason because like I think it was like a pair. I guess this is a run of paint where the labels were upside down, but it's like it's correct everywhere else. It's just the labels were put on upside down. I was like, wait, what? Oops. That's funny.
So the discussion in the Twitch chat over whether people prefer plastic or metal miniatures.
Plastic.
I'm a plastic guy. There's again fond nostalgia for metal, but not
Metal
it's-
just can't get the detail you get in plastic.
Plastic's getting better detail nowadays, and it's so much easier to work with. Like the glues I could use plastic cement, and it's just so much faster. I had to get special super glue just to get my metal stuff because I hadn't glued metal in literally years, pretty much since I was doing War Machine models. And I had to do some metal model at some point, and I had to get brand new like Gorilla Glue essentially just to keep it together.
The cool thing about metal these days, though, is if you've got the space and a little bit of money,
you could just
you
do
can
it.
do it at home.
Yeah.
Like you can buy a spin caster and just do it.
Yeah. The process, it's getting like the reason people switched to plastic in the first place was the costs and
Yeah.
stuff and the detail, but like now it's getting to the point where you can maybe even go back. Like the cost is changing again, but like it's good for small scale stuff.
Yeah.
But I think honestly, 3D printing's just kind of taken over what metal would have done.
There still seem to be guys doing metal
There are
minis,
the
but they're more
Relic
like
Blade,
garage operations.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is cool. I mean, they
small
do-
companies
yeah.
doing garage stuff, which is great. I think that's a cool idea. It's just with 3D printing so much more accessible now. It's hard to go back, I think, for me. If I'm not doing, I'm still more of a fan of plastic than resin. But if I'm gonna do resin or metal, I'll do resin. I'm gonna do a green
I
metallic.
think I just made the
Oh, that's
shiniest
cool.
dungeon on the planet.
I actually really like that.
It's like somebody like murdered the Tin Man and then made a dungeon corridor out of his parts.
Yes.
That is weird.
It's really just a metal ooze that's spread out across the walls really thin.
Okay, yeah. It's like some metallic slime sort of thing.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I like the green.
Yeah, that green came out good. It looks very phantasmal.
Yeah. But again, I think that's my old school Castle Grayskull.
Yeah, you're
sinking in.
you're just like in He-Man land over here. You're like, ah, yes, green castles.
Well, clearly there's a dungeon
Well, look
under
at
that castle.
Speaking of green castles,
Oh, that's nice.
that's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, it can. I do think that 3D printing is probably going to overtake the DIY cast minis. It's just such a lower barrier of entry to get into
Yeah,
than casting your own.
Yeah, it really is.
it takes a lot of the work out of it, which is nice.
Well, and you don't even have to do the sculpting work yourself on 3D printing. You can
You just
grab
there's a lot of
those
guys
models that
doing
already
great.
been
A
done.
lot of people doing great sculpts
great
out
models.
there.
Yeah.
You can do both.
Yeah.
You could.
You could prototype with the 3D printer and then make
I'm
your
not-
casting and cast all
I'm gonna
the
be
metal
honest,
stuff.
not much of a pro.
I mean, there's people that do it.
oh yeah, for sure. I mean, that's
Are
a,
the prints from the 3D printer strong enough to handle the pressure of the vulcanized molds, though, to convert that over to?
There's a YouTuber named Steady Craftsman. Have you ever seen that channel?
No.
He's the only person I've seen that really does that stuff. But I think it's possible,
Okay. Because I wasn't sure if it would be strong enough, like the actual 3D printed parts to
I
take
mean,
that.
I'm fairly certain he's done
I
He's
think
done some experimenting with that kind of stuff.
Okay.
To
I
see,
think
like, what can you
GW's
do?
does some of that stuff because they're 3D printing a lot of their first run prototypes, so
Yeah.
they've got to do some of it.
But are they? But they're not doing them in metal then, though, are they?
True. That's doing
Because the process of getting those molds for the
Yeah,
spin cast, those are
the old school like actual.
yeah. They're like rubber molds,
Nah,
and it's
yeah, you're right.
heat and compression, and you're actually pushing the master into the mold.
Yeah, that would be interesting to find that
So
out.
I don't know.
What
That
was
seems
what
like
was
a
the
thing we have
YouTuber
to
you said,
learn.
Brandon?
What's that?
What was the YouTuber you said?
Steady craftsman.
Cool. I like finding new YouTube channels like that.
No tea in the craft.
Oh, interesting. There's like a.
It's a fun show. He
I like
makes like he
Black
has a little
Magic
puppet
Craft
that
and stuff
talks
like
to the
that.
people, and
I have not
he
seen
makes
that.
toys. And
There's
he
a
does all kinds of
there's
stuff.
a guy MS Paints that does puppet stuff. I don't know what it is with guys and puppets. There's like a little he's another good like painter. It's actually an interesting take. He's a painter. He's like a he's into hobby painting, but he's more like he makes production minis and stuff like that for like for movie sets and stuff like that. But he got MS. And he knows that over the course of time he has to like change the way he paints and stuff. So he started a YouTube channel about painting essentially. I thought that was a really cool thing to do. Oh yeah, this looks really okay. This one's probably gonna show up really weird on camera. But this looks pretty rad.
Let's toss that in there.
I think I'm gonna do a brighter green on top of it even.
Bam.
Oh yeah, that looks sick.
And Hunter has the radioactive.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do this even lighter green on the next level. Let that.
That one's Turbo Dork.
Yeah, that one is absinthe. That's absinthe for the paste. That's awesome. I'm just gonna do random handfuls of turbo paints on these things. Heck yeah.
Sean says it looks to be about the same size as his Dwarven Forge stuff and would probably go together well.
It should. They're 1-inch squares. So
Not the tile, but the individual squares on the tile.
Yeah, the individual squares are 1-inch, so the tiles are 2-inch. I've got some Dwarven Forge. We'll have to do a test. I should take some of the unpainted Dwarven Forge and paint them up at the exact same time as I paint a piece of these, just like basically one of the square tiles.
Just two
Like
tiles
there.
next to each other, yeah.
Yeah, and just put them together and see, can you build a dungeon using like, and I want to get some Warlock terrain too and see how that works, because a lot of people have a lot of existing dungeon terrain, and I know people mix and match from sets, and I am curious how well will this fit into somebody's existing layout.
Sure.
And the cool thing there is you could, like if you have a really awesome Dwarven Forge door or something, and you just want to make a big room but not have to spend $300 or something on enough pieces to make the room, maybe you can use their big elaborate gate or door or something within this that you can 3D print for a lot less.
Yeah.
And
Have the big
combine it
signature
all.
pieces and then
Yeah,
Because they do make some
that's a good
stuff, but
idea.
Yeah.
I want to try that.
And so I did mention these do have clips on them, but you don't have to use clips with stuff like this. It's just don't hit them too hard.
You could also mount magnets in those clip spots if you
mount
wanted
magnets. You could, I mean, theoretically, you could change
could
the
play-
print to like not do the clips that you change the clip on it if you want, if you know it well enough, you know.
to. Yeah, or you could just not even bother clipping them together.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, for me, it would just be like more of a hassle to clip stuff together. It's just like, hey guys, don't hit the table too hard. Like, I just want to set it up. I don't really feel like clipping everything.
I know the people I play with though; they're gonna hit that table.
Listen, you have to tell Justin to stop hitting the table.
Gene says you can build a dungeon with Squarescape and Dwarven Forge. They tested that during development.
Awesome. Well, I haven't tested it yet, but I'm totally going to. Especially, I want to paint the two and put them together and see, like, how seamless can that look.
I got your Snake Mountain.
Yeah, you got
like
it.
in the I got the freaking itch to do purple suddenly. We were talking about it so
Did you
freaking
see
much.
that crazy Super 7 Snake
Oh
Mountain?
my god, yeah.
That-
Someone needs to do
Would they charge like $1,000?
I wouldn't be. Yeah, it's got to be
for it?
something really high. They did. Someone needs to do an Eternia playset. That's the place that no one can get a hold of.
That's the one that connected the
Yeah.
Snake Mountain and
it had like the
Grayskull.
big.
And it had
like
like,
a-
the tram.
Yeah,
kinda
I was gonna say like a
went
roller
around.
coaster looking.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
It looked like they did the Omega Supreme thing and threw a train track around. Like It's a robot. Why does it have a train track? It's a robot with a train track.
I keep watching for one of those original pre-Transformers Omega Supremes, but
The Diaclone or not? That wasn't.
it wasn't
Diaclone,
even
it was something
Diaclone.
else.
It was some completely different.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
that was
right
one of the
now.
ones that
think
they
I
pulled
had
from a
that guy.
different line completely.
Yeah.
I love watching those histories of like Transformers because it was like, yeah, there's Diaclone, there's Microman, but then there's like all this other stuff where it's just like, yeah, this was something they put out for like a 007 movie, and then it became this, or like some
Well, like
random.
Shockwave was just some random toy
Yeah.
from the late '70s, and they actually used it in the Alien movie.
Yeah, oh yeah,
They
that's right. Yeah,
they used like a bunch of Shockwave toys as like medical instruments hanging up. It just
That's so cool.
pre-Shockwave.
yeah.
I
Whatever
should
the toy
say.
was pre-shot. Yeah, I love that
Yeah.
stuff. That's so funny to me. It's like, yeah, it's just some random like like some like, yeah, over here it's this, but over there it was just this one-off toy that we put out for this one thing. It's like me and my tiny robot.
The only old Japanese toy I've actually managed to pick up that I have hung on to that's awesome is the Japanese Starbird, the old
Oh,
Milton Bradley electronic spaceship.
Yep.
Yeah, they did a completely new mold in Japan
Well, that's cool.
that is unlike the US one, but it's still the same basic concept, and it is a Starbird.
Oh, that's neat.
But the cool thing is it was in Japan, so it has spring-fired missiles on it.
It's like everything that we had safety over here for all the stuff. It's like, you get to do cool stuff.
How's that green go together?
Oh, nice.
Not bad.
Here's a purple.
Oh, that fits pretty well.
It's a people eater. This was probably gonna reflect pretty well. Oh, that's dark.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
I'm gonna try this. So there's this one over here called Pearl Gray. I'm gonna put on top of that, like it's a stone color, I think.
Ooh.
Oh, this silver one is weird.
The silver one is
That-
aging poorly.
That is not a color that should be on a dungeon.
It got a little weird there for a bit.
It got super weird really fast.
Do you mind giving me the purple and the green one back? I'm gonna try a different color on top of these to see if we can. I'm gonna let this dry a little bit, but I think that green one's probably dried enough.
Let it
for me.
dry. What?
Oh yeah, that looks good. I'm gonna try this light green.
I'm
on
just
top
got a
of it.
weird way of painting if he lets things dry. Just like,
Shocker, I
let's
know.
do this. What color is this?
Oh.
Hydra turquoise.
Sounds cool.
I feel like I need to see what that looks like.
I'm doing Malum Malice. Sure, has some fun names.
Yeah, I'd like to see if like I can mix 3 or 4 different brands of dungeon terrain together and build something where somebody doesn't immediately go, that's different, that's different, that's different. Like maybe will just help vary everything up some more.
Sure. I mean, we're adding to the mix there, I think.
We are adding to
Some
the
cool
mix.
stuff.
Oh, this turquoise looks awesome. What's it gonna do to my gunmetal? I feel like the dungeon master is gonna come in after I've decorated and be like, "What have you done to my dungeon?"
I've made some stark improvements.
And I'll have to mention, like, well, if you cast some blacklight spells, you would see. Because this turquoise over the gunmetal looks like it's going to be super weird. Yeah, it's almost like a weird arcane, like, slime over that dungeon wall. Let me turn that around real quick, Hunter, so you can see
Oh, yeah.
over that gunmetal.
One thing that I like with metallics is doing washes and stuff
Mm-hmm.
over the top because it makes it that color but metallic.
Now I'm wondering what to do about the tops of the walls, too. I realize I'm not hitting those with anything right now. I got some really good news this morning.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that we haven't told anybody, but the container with the Steve Jackson's Munchkin Presents Batman is officially in the United States.
Oh, nice. That's fast.
Cool.
Yeah.
A little early too.
Well, we got extremely lucky with that one. It helped that we ran all the tooling in advance of the Kickstarter campaign so that as soon as we had met the funding goal,
We were ready to hit the
we were ready to like just go, and the factory was on it. And then fortunately, it wasn't like the Girl Genius project where it took a month to get from New York to Georgia.
Yeah, but hey, Girl Genius is on Warehouse 23 now too.
Yeah. Girl Genius is done. It is out there.
That's awesome.
I had secretly hoped we'd be ready to ship that thing in January or February, and the product was done, like everything was manufactured and printed, but then it just took forever to get space on a ship.
Yep.
Is that getting any better? Or
No,
is
it
it just
is.
the same?
It is no better at all. I think it was Shanghai had some serious closures recently because of some COVID outbreaks. It was like last year when the Suez Canal mess happened, and I was like,
man, I forgot
"Oh,
about
that won't impact us. Most of our stuff crosses the Pacific." And then the next thing I know, yes, it crosses the Pacific, but there's containers that are not making it, so now there's suddenly a container shortage. The different ocean dice for that Munchkin project that we did for the bookmarks, those are also getting really close to the U.S. For some weird reason, that one did take the Suez Canal and came across the Atlantic. And that surprised me. I don't often see our shipments go that route.
We do have a question.
Yes.
Dustin asks if there's any updates on the new Auto Duel.
As in video game?
Yeah.
We're not ready to say a lot publicly, but I will say I have been in many, many meetings. I have seen a lot of the screen designs, artwork being made. Last week I was listening to the soundtrack that they're putting together. Everything is coming together, but it is not. It's not ready, and I didn't say this. You didn't hear any of it. But yes. It's looking really cool, though.
But you didn't say that.
But I didn't say that. But what I like about it is they're taking the original video game and like using that as a model, but up-resing everything. So it almost looks, I was telling last week when we were looking at some of the screenshots and stuff from the game, it almost feels as if somebody had made an auto duel game for like the Super NES or something in like 1991 or 92.
Like they 16-bitted it instead of like 8-bit.
Yeah. It's still retro in a way like that, but like not.
That's
not
a pretty
like
popular
Atari
style
or-
too.
yeah,
like that retro.
it looks-
style.
It's looking awesome. Like I'm really happy with it, and I do know we're getting closer to releasing the original Auto Duel for people who want to buy that. Jimmy, you've been helping. You and Brandon both have been helping with some testing on that.
That reminds me, I need to take a look at that tomorrow.
Yeah,
The latest build.
yeah. So, no, there's no news on Auto Duel at all. Sorry.
I love your style of no news. Your style of no news is very much the similar to my style of Hunter. You can't share this.
How's the look on camera now?
There's one soul out there who knew
weird.
about the Auto Duel stuff
Yeah.
way before he should have, and it was very much a. Have you ever heard the old anecdote of one day Bill Murray just walked up to someone and like hugged him and said, "No one will ever believe you if you tell them." It was very much like it was this guy. We were at the Warhammer Open, when Steve was doing a signing. If anyone had been there, we did a signing at the Worm Open. I was setting up for Steve and taking down, and there was a guy at the check-in. I forgot his name, but he was really excited that Steve was going to be there, and I was like, "Oh yeah, it'll be rad. You know, you should come by during." It was during his lunch, so I was like, "Yeah, you should come by," and he kind of forgot about it, and I felt bad, and I was leaving, and he was like, "Oh man," and he had talked about how he loved auto duel and all this stuff, and I'm like, "I'm sorry you missed him. But I will tell you, there's new auto duel coming out, and if you tell anyone this, you're not going to believe you, because you're the only human that knows about this outside of our company." And I was like, he freaked out. He loved it. So these are with a different Turbo Dork, a lighter
Okay.
Turbo Dork color on top. I think this one I can already tell.
Whoa!
The line looks really rad.
Those look cool.
The purple has pearl gray on top, or oh yeah, that green. There's a yellowish green now on top of it that's got like, oh man. I love their color.
Those look cool.
Those came out real good.
The cruelest thing I've ever done was one Gen Con where somebody came to the booth and wanted to know when we were going to release a new edition of Car Wars. So I said, I am so sorry. You'd missed it? We had it here at the show and it's sold out and we're not going to make any more.
It's gone.
And he was starting to freak out. I'm like, I'm just screwing with you. It's not real. It's not real.
And then it happened, and it was
But
real.
the look on his face, like I felt bad and happy all at the same time.
Hunter, that purple one looks really good. Like
That purple
it looks
looks
very
awesome.
textured and like
Yeah.
and
And
as
that's not-
it's
I didn't do
shifting
anything-
as it moves almost.
Yeah, I didn't do anything special. Those aren't even the color shift. That's just their metallics.
But it's that combined with the texture on the actual
Yeah.
mini area. Like
Those
Yeah.
textures
Looks
are
really
great.
good.
That's what I was saying earlier. The rock texture that we use for that is perfect. It's really nice. Just getting some.
So that I think the first one I did with the blue and put that turquoise on the. Why don't I just be horrible at this? But that side is just the original very pale blue that I did. And then when it comes around, the other wall now has the turquoise over the blue.
Try one with the wall. Did wall too.
Here it comes. Here it comes. That one's the turquoise over it. Yeah.
Dig here, so we got.
If those colors look like from your direction in like person,
I'm gonna do
then what I'm seeing
blue.
looks nothing like reality.
You didn't say your eyes are weird.
My eyes are really bad, but they're not typically to the point that blues are white.
no, that blue is showing up.
Ooh, matcha.
It's much more blue in person.
Okay.
Like that one's just reading white on the screen.
It's just picking up the, like,
Yeah.
it's more reflective maybe?
Like this side's a little more white than the other one.
Uh-huh.
But they're both reading blue to me over here.
But-
It's just the camera's just picking that up as white.
Where's the fuck?
I know. I'll do it this way. Oh, yeah. See? I wonder how hard that would be to photograph. I think it'd be easier to photograph than what we're getting on.
Yeah, we'll take
video.
some. We'll take some pictures
Right
and
now.
throw them up on the gram.
Yeah. The gram.
The gram.
Have you been doing more TikTok testing?
I mean, I've done my own TikToks, so I'm in business on that. If we want to do something,
I've been experimenting this week a little bit.
we can do a TikTok with you holding the terrain. That'd be fun.
Jimmy, you want to be a TikTok star?
So the first way to do that is you're gonna need to work somewhere. I'm joking. I'm joking. We're
We're
gonna
get
do
a hot
the-
tub. And
No, Jimmy.
Oh, you saw Justin's video.
Oh no,
I didn't. Apparently, I need to.
That's
They didn't do it. It was just
it was not.
it was cute, but there were no people involved.
I thought hot tubs were for Twitch.
Hey, that's my shtick. Get away.
Wait, we can do hot tub Twitch?
Yeah.
I
Why
had
not?
no idea.
Oh
Put
yeah.
a hot tub in here. I don't think they allowed it anymore. But it was popular for a while.
Hot tub Twitch was a thing?
Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, kids these days.
Should not be able to watch Hot Tub Twitch. Is the end of that sentence?
I think it was out. Like you probably still do it, but you'd have to do it in like not what you would wear in a hot tub because of Twitch's updated dress code.
You
and
wear
stuff.
you wear like a suit.
Let me put.
Three-piece
They
suit.
updated the dress code because of all the hot tubs.
Was it that people didn't have dress? Or they almost didn't have dress?
They were just trying to get people to stop doing it.
Stop wearing swimsuits
Right.
on Twitch.
Yeah, that's more of an Instagram thing.
Indeed. Speaking of, check out our Instagram for me and Rebecca too.
Closest you'll get from us is maybe a kiddie pool in the warehouse, but
We need it. It's so hot. Oh my god, man.
it'd
I
be
didn't see
kind
the
of like
guys in the warehouse when I came in.
Yeah, Philip had to leave early for his dentist appointment.
Oh, for his
And
checkup.
James was out.
dress code required. Yes.
Dress code. Yeah, you need that. Just have it. Have clothes. Oh yeah, that's a really deep blue. And then for the base,
I like the.
Jean says the green one gives her a feeling of being inside something, maybe a blotomus.
the green
Very
tile.
organic walls.
The green flat.
I think so. Yeah.
That's here.
Ooh, yeah,
The purple looks great too, though.
Oh, that's cool.
I think so far that purple one is my favorite. Like I'm not sure what you'd find it in, but it's
A dungeon. The look on people's faces when I was painting that hex terrain purple, they just seemed so confused.
But then we did it at ForCon. People love that terrain.
Yeah, it popped.
I really dig it. Should we talk about the Discord?
We can talk about Discord.
So we're actually, I just thought of it because we talked about
Yeah,
ForCon. So something we've wanted to do for a while, if anyone out there has checked it out, we actually have a Discord that we use for NordCon, that we've been using for ForCon. And we really liked it. Obviously, a lot of us here at the office use Discord simply because it's a good, fun little messaging tool and little forum group. But we wanted to do one for work, and so we decided we're going to actually convert the FNordCon one. There's still going to be sections for FNordCon, but we're actually going to turn FNordCon into a just general Steve Jackson Games Discord. So if you're interested in, talking Steve Jackson Games, you don't necessarily want to be on the forums or something like that. Maybe use Discord already for other stuff. We're going to kind of open it up to be more of a general year-round, just Steve Jackson Games place where you can ask like Munchkin rules or talk about GURPS or the fantasy trip or 3D printing or whatever the case may be, whatever you want to talk about. So if you're interested in like forum-like activities, but maybe you want to do it on Discord, check it out. We'll be that'll be in the near future. It's not like ready to launch just yet. We're still fine-tuning a couple things. But
Can we talk about classic releases like Bag of Bags?
you know what? Breaking news: we've canceled the Discord.
deleted. Got it.
sorry. Some guy stepped over the line, and we just had to shut it down.
I am still angry at myself that I didn't find the time for us to run a deluxe Bag of Bags Kickstarter earlier this year.
Oh my god, that would have been an April Fool's Kickstarter. I feel like a good April.
Why do you
Fool's.
think that's an April Fool's? It would be big
So
bags
two,
this
two
time?
things, Hunter. What is the combination of paints that went into the green one? And also, hey, welcome Czech Games Edition, folks. Welcome.
Hey, thanks for the raid.
The raid from Czech Games. Welcome to the stream. Come on
Appreciate
in.
it.
Today we are doing some painting on our hobby stream painting on our Squarescape prototypes for our Squarescape
Terrain.
terrain
It'll be
products.
a Kickstarter later this year,
Yeah.
probably in the fallish time, and we're planning out some more stuff. But this is 3D printable terrain essentially to make dungeons out of. The green one that's a combination. The base of it, that darker green is called Absinthe. That's a Turbo Dork. I believe it's metallic. Yeah, these are all metallics. And then the one on top, it's kind of like a yellow highlight. That's called Malum Malus. It's another metallic.
Is malum a real word that I don't know?
It's Latin.
It's Latin, yeah.
For?
I think it's green. It's related to
Malum,
something.
Isn't it green? Isn't it like evil or
I
or
feel
dark?
like at this point people are just making things up.
But what were you guys playing today, Czech Games? What were you working on?
And then soon, for upcoming programming, over my shoulder, my left shoulder, is Pathfinder Revolution. So we'll be doing some of that really soon. That project is coming out on July 18th. We'll have a landing page up on Kickstarter really soon for that, and I'm really excited. That's probably my favorite project this entire year. Is that we've had a lot of great projects, but man, our Revolution game.
Brandon, may
Oh.
I see?
Galaxy Trucker. That is one of my favorites. I've had a older set that took a long time to track down when it was not in print.
Yeah,
Eventually had to
have you
get one
seen the
from-
new edition? It looks great.
Yeah, it's the boxes are smaller, which would probably be better for my game shelf. But no, I love playing Galaxy Trucker. That is the classic.
Yeah, it's so good.
Thank you guys for coming over. Hope you enjoy it. We'll be painting for a little bit longer here. Just looking over a few things here.
When did Galaxy Trucker first come out? Like 2008 or 2009?
Somewhere around there, I want to say.
It's been a while.
What do you got there? Oh wow, that thing is. I love that color.
Yeah, I like that color. I wonder how it looks with your.
We're just trying out some different paint schemes on these,
Yeah,
on these
so-
dungeon trains to see how it works out. and
If we
everything.
were making a full set, we'd be consistent right now. Since it's 3D printable and we just kind of primed
just
up some sets, we're just
trying
messing around
colors.
with it. It's just
Yeah.
fun. It's like a fun hobby afternoon for us. Just testing some interesting colors out. We have a lot of Turbo Dork that I'm using. Phil's got some other Army Painter stuff that he's been messing around with. Yeah, it's just trying out some fun schemes.
Phil, it was 2008 and it was the first game they published.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was 2008, but I wasn't certain.
Steve says Malia Malorum is Hammer of Evil.
Okay.
Is that Steve? That's not our Steve, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Is it our Steve? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Well,
Someone
Steve.
claiming to be at least.
He said he was going to hang out.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, cool. That's awesome. I didn't know he was watching a stream. That's awesome, Steve.
Malleum is similar to Mallet,
Okay.
hammer.
I
Jane
see.
says we should put some photos of these on the site with a list of paints we used for each.
That
If we
makes sense.
remember them.
If we were, we'll definitely have them on the Instagram though, because usually after the streams,
Sounds
we'll
like a
post
good DI.
pictures.
Yeah.
Sounds to me like what we can do is put pictures of the paint bottles and picture of the pieces and just let people play the
Match it up,
game.
yeah. That'll be
Because
more likely.
I don't remember. You're on your own. Plus, some of these have like 3 or 4 different colors over them.
Yeah,
As we just keep experimenting with how does that look.
yeah. This is
The turquoise looks really cool.
these colors. These two particularly go. These two
I-
blues.
I
I'm
wish-
really digging those.
I wish the camera was more accurate to reality.
When we take pictures for Instagram, it'll be a little
Yeah.
bit closer.
Yeah.
They're pretty. I'd say the metallics. Oddly enough, for some reason,
The
the Turbo
metallics
Dorks are
seem
coming in
really,
pretty close.
yeah. The metallics seem really close.
The flat colors have a harder time.
The flat colors are looking more, almost iridescent,
blown out or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something with them. But
Something's going on.
so I didn't do both sides of this, but
Yeah, we'll get some photos up on the Instagram at least, and
Yeah.
we'll use different lighting than the studio lighting to dial it in a little bit closer.
yeah, because we're when you're doing stuff like this, you have we have to have a balance of us being able to see the cameras, being able to get everything, plus you know,
Minimizing the shadows,
minimizing
and everything
shadows
else.
and whatnot. So
If I can't
it's a tough
normally
combo.
see, why should I see now?
also
It's not
true.
what you can see; it's about what we can see you.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, my eyes get worse by the day.
Mardi Gras dungeon.
The Harlequin Dungeon. Oh, that's a good. Keep that name. Copyright me. No one take that. No one steal that.
I think the word you're looking for is dibs.
No, I'm putting a copyright on it right now. I think
Wait,
that's how
you're
it
telling
works.
me dibs isn't like
Dibs
legal
isn't
term?
legally binding, but me saying I have a copyright on it is absolutely legally
Dude,
binding.
I went to middle school. Dibs is totally legally binding.
That's fair.
It's
Dibs.
like shotgun.
Exactly.
I'll put dibs on it also just in case. I've got multiple layers of legal protection for this idea. No one can take it.
This idea you're never gonna act on.
Whoa. What
What are you, a millennial setting
Everyone calm
up
down.
domain names?
Heck yeah.
One of these days, I'm gonna make a website.
My blog.
Just one.
The Harlequin Dungeon.
The worst thing you can ever do is look back and see how many domain names you've registered in your life. And then you're like, oh yeah, I was gonna do something with like.
What was I going to do with this stupid website? Amazon.com.
Well,
What a useless domain.
I'm sitting on some valuable domain names because I have dice.games.
Yeah.
And I have gamemaster.guide.
That's something.
And I do nothing with them because I'm done.
Some
Whoa!
blue with a bronzy red on the base.
Okay,
That's a weird
so
one. I haven't done the whole back of it, but yeah, this is.
this is gonna be our 1971 good time dungeon.
That red actually came out pretty good.
That red's wild. Is that a turbo dork?
Yeah, that's actually 2 turbo door colors. It's red rum for the base, and then like the bronzy top is called Life on Mars.
Yeah, it looks almost coppery. Like,
Yeah,
but it's got a coppery element to it.
The base is red and the top is copper, pretty much. And then the wall is Cool Ranch. And then
Did you guys see Severance? I think we're about to have a waffle party.
What? Severance?
no, I haven't.
It's a TV show.
Uh-uh.
Oh, you should totally check it out. It's really good.
What's
I actually don't know what this blue is. It's one of the ones that doesn't have a label, and it looks like some of it may have been. I just can't read the.
that must
what
be
it
a
is.
good blue then.
Yeah, but it's one of the. I've seen it. I just some of the reason some of these were for NordCon. I mentioned it earlier, but they're just they were provided to us free of charge to use because most of them have some kind of a label defect. The paint itself is great.
But no label makes it challenging if you're like, I really like this color.
They did write on most of them. I just can't read that one in particular. It's like
You'll have to go over with the bottle and like say,
it's something
hey,
something
which one is
never.
this?
I don't know what the first word is. It looks like jeer, but I can't. That doesn't make any sense. I just see the word never. So some light blue with the word never in it. I'm sure if I go to their website, I can probably find it because all their
We
stuff has
just
very
had
distinct names.
Mallet of Evil or something.
Malice.
And you think Jeer doesn't make any sense?
That's fair. That's quite fair. Jeer. I do have a yellow, and I've been doing yellow. I don't think I need a yellow tile though. I think one orange yellow tile is probably enough. What are we looking like on time, guys?
Oh, we're about 10 after 3 right now.
Okay.
It's been over an hour.
Oh, has it?
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's been that long. Jeez.
Glad my next call was pushed back to 4 and not 3.
Yeah. We should. We'll probably start wrapping up here in a bit then. Matcha. That's I'm gonna use that on that same green tile because it's like a third lighter green to go on top.
Yeah, Steve, I like that Martian one. I like that coppery red tone. It'd be good for a lot of stuff.
Do you mind passing me back the red one and the green one there?
Sure.
I'm
Was
gonna try
that
different.
blue metallic hunter or was it?
Yeah, these are all metallic colors. I'm trying out different turbo dorks right now to see which ones kind of pop for me. And so far, all the ones I've used, I like in different ways. The green one's got a little bit of like greenish yellow. This is matcha though, which is an even lighter green. So we're gonna see all these. This is where I go one step too far and ruin all these tiles. So
The
I'm
metallic
excited.
blues I can find for them are Blue Steel, Cool Ranch, Bada Bee, and Maguro.
I don't think
I
it's.
kind of want to use the.
It's really
turquoise
light. Here, I'm gonna
do an
toss this to you,
entire
Jimmy.
dungeon.
The what?
The turquoise.
I think the turquoise looks great. I think of all the ones that
Yeah.
we have there, that's one of the ones I've liked the most.
You're trying to think. Oh, you're trying to read it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't get the name off of it. To be fair, they've also done a few limited edition colors, so it's possible that it's one of those because they did some con exclusives.
That'll be your favorite color.
Yeah.
The limited edition. Wait, well, sorry, can't help you.
Yeah, they've only done a couple of those. I will say there's a company. I enjoy them quite a bit. Reaper Paints.
Right.
They do Reaper in general. They do some good paints as well, but and it's not really a but. They do some awesome limited edition colors that I like, but they're limited edition, and I'm always like, man, I love this color. It's like perfect for like they do like a Halloween color, and it's like yeah, sick, and then it's like it's gone forever. I'm like,
Well, it sounds like you need to
stock up.
switch your 401k from that to a Reaper
I think that's a question I need to
deposit
account. Yeah, I need
and
to talk
get your own custom Reaper colors.
deposit.
It's called
Yeah.
Ice to Never.
Oh, there we go. There
There
we
we
go.
go.
Thank you. It just had some of the letters rubbed off. I could read the word never.
Oh, it's a turbo shift.
Oh, interesting. So that's at the shift over the top. I wonder. I think the Cool Ranch kind of blew it out a little bit.
Probably. It's supposed to be over a black.
Yeah, you want
usually, so-
you can do turbo shift over other stuff though.
Yeah.
Ice to Never is supposed to transition from blue to pink to purple.
Gotcha. We do have a
Like
couple.
with the light? Okay.
Yeah. We do have a couple of the transitions in here because we've got. I saw 3D glasses, which I think was a turbo shift in here as well. Is this one of them? No, this is Bullion, which would probably look kind of cool.
How dramatic is the color shift like that?
It's
And
they're pretty good.
is it very much line of sight sort of thing? So like if we're both looking at the same thing, we'll see different colors.
Yeah, it's kind of
or-
like the like as you pass
Okay.
different directions, you'll
Right.
get that
Yeah.
shift on it.
It also depends on what your underlying color is. That's why they most of them recommend that you start with a
That's why
black,
the
base
black
coat.
Darkness,
Yeah.
darkness or the color. If I've found that they kind of work if you also do it on colors that are like similar to the thing you're trying to turbo shift. But they work pretty well. I've used them on a few of my. I saw some used them on some Necron models.
We've done it on
Where
a couple of the cars too.
yeah, in my car, yeah. This one had a color shift on it. Was the color shift or was it just? Oh, this was just metallic. But I've done it on some of my Warhammer stuff, and even did a matte varnish over the top. And the color shift still worked.
Yeah, I think the turquoise is my favorite so far.
We just
Why don't I just keep hitting it right there on the turntable?
It'll spin.
I know, but not fast enough. Won't this thing go faster?
Does it go faster?
it does
Some
not.
of them have
We have a
speed.
remote somewhere.
Yeah, because your turntable needs a remote.
Well, if you wanted to go faster with us controlling stuff over here, it does.
Why don't we just put a turntable on the turntable?
Heard you like turntables?
Yeah. But they need to go opposite directions.
So just sit still.
So
What-
yeah.
What were
Is
the
that
blue
like
colors?
using a 3D printer to print another 3D printer?
I
kind of
closed
thing.
the page already.
It's fine.
Pretty much.
This one also was kind of a weird Nagudo or something.
Magudo is
Oh, you said that is one of them?
that is one of them.
Because I think this one will show up a little bit better than the color shift on the top. Oh yeah, it's already. I'm already see it. This is on top of the Cool Ranch. Cool Ranch.
Cool
So
ranch.
they didn't write out Cool Ranch on the label. I just happen to know it's Cool Ranch. It's Cranch on the label. I was like, what is? Oh wait, I know
What is
this.
Sea Ranch? I don't. Oh,
It didn't even say Sea Ranch. They mixed it just a Cranch. It just says Cranch.
Nice.
Like yeah, it's like those terrible sauces from Heinz. If you ever go to the store, Heinz has this like section of like hybrid sauces now where it's
Where
like
it's the
ranch and
mayup or
yeah, it's
something.
like may up and yeah,
Yeah.
weird. Oh my god, this is gonna really date me, but well, to people online, not to you guys. I'm younger than everyone here, but
Shut up.
I don't know if y'all ever watched Mr. Show, but there was a skit that one of the episodes they would have running skits throughout the show essentially, and there was just one episode where it was they were kind of mocking the old like condiment ads, and it was like two competing brands that kept doing ads during the entire show. It was like, are you a slave to 2-jar dipping? And it was like a guy who was like having to work hard to dip a one thing in mustard and one thing in mayo, and the whole thing was about two competing brands of mustard mayonnaise mixed together. It was like a jar with like mustard and mayonnaise like layered throughout. And every time some weird condiment comes out, I'm always like, that is what I just think of that scene. I'm just like, it's like, are you a slave to 2-jar? One of the ads is Bob Odenkirk, and he's like, his daughter comes in, she's like 5 years old, and he's like, she's like, oh, you want to? Hey, Dad, can we go to the Little League? And she's like, sorry, I'm making a sandwich. And it takes him forever. And it just like the commercial's her just growing up and like, Dad, I'm graduating. And he's just like, oh, and he's like stays the same age. And eventually she comes in as like an old lady. It's like, Dad, I'm dying. And he's like, sandwich time. Don't miss part of your life with 2 jars.
Oh.
Oh, it was great. I love that stuff. Sorry, I really wanted. I will. I'm almost done. I'm just gonna do a little thing of this. Finish this light
Are
blue
you a
on
slave
top
to
of the
2-bottle
ranch.
painting?
2-bottle painting.
Are you a slave to 2-bottle painting? Every paint is mixed into one.
Use turbo shift.
Yeah.
There you go.
So this is.
Problem fixed.
I put a layer of a lighter blue, and I did spicy meatball on the red.
Turbo Shift Pride Edition is just all the colors. It just
Yeah.
goes through everything.
Oh yeah. So it's a little more red than bronze now, but it still has a little bit of that undertone of the bronze, I say. When it comes back around.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did another yellow, lighter green on that. Didn't change the purple much. Oh yeah, I like that red a lot. And then I did like a lighter blue on the wall on top of the top of the dark blue. Yeah, those came out really good.
That is not a dungeon I've seen before.
No, that looks like a Quake arena.
Yeah.
I like it. I love that. Those two colors I think are winners. Your like kind of green one and the
Yeah, I like the turquoisey.
turquoisey and green. Those look real good.
Yeah.
in
And
color.
that one purple floor tile as well. Was
Oh,
really
here's
Oh,
the
yeah.
purple. Yeah, and this
And the green.
I put another
floor
lighter
tile.
green on top of that one as well. Yeah, and so I mean it's a good example of how you can change up the color just a little bit and like yeah, it's the same texture. This could just
And-
be gray stone, which looks good too. We've done a lot of gray stone.
Oh
terrain
yeah,
and stuff.
and we'll build an entire layout with gray stone.
Sure, yeah.
It's just I know what the gray looks
Yeah.
like.
And look, we know what gray looks like. It'll look great if you do a whole like traditional. I'd say we call that traditional layout. But this is some inspiration to do some more interesting stuff with it. Maybe. I'm super into the way the metallic.
I wonder if we can do a
looks.
CGA dungeon. Yeah, old school monitor.
Oh
color.
my god! Yeah.
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 That would be interesting.
You just need to like 2 colors though, right?
Yeah. The Matrix dungeon. This dungeon runs on DOS. And is also freeware. Oh man, that looks great.
No, shareware.
True.
Send $9.99 too. You believe we used to pay for video games like
Just
that?
mail us a
Yeah.
check.
Or at least one of your friends paid for video games like that, and then everyone else got it for free.
Oh,
And that's yeah.
I think they spent like $10 for Commander Keen or something.
Hey, that's a good deal.
Wasn't that a Dallas address for them? Wasn't
Something
that?
like a lot of that stuff was
Yeah.
in Dallas because
That
Texas
early
Instruments, all
id
that stuff.
software.
Yeah.
was in
A lot of those
Dallas.
early
Yeah.
Dell guys and stuff, and all that
Mhm.
stuff has happened around Dallas. Yeah. And so yeah, that is our Squarescape. If you are interested in this, not out just yet, but it is a project coming out later.
Yeah, it'll be
we
on
wanted to
Kickstarter later this year.
Yep, and it's going to be 3D printable terrain. Similar if you checked it out before, the Fantasy Trip Foes campaign was very similar. We sold STLs for those minis, and those are also available on Warehouse 23, on Drive-Thru RPG, My Mini Factory. Those will be perfectly sized for this kind of stuff. So we'll actually throw some of those probably. We would take pictures of it. We'll throw some of the skeletons in there because we have some out there in the office. But yeah, that's our Squarescape terrain. If you have any questions about it, just drop a line. We'll answer anything we can. Phil, thank you for joining us here. It's been
My
fun.
pleasure.
We've got some
Some questions already?
No, the Kickstarter that's upcoming closing.
Yep.
Yes.
Nano Games, if you don't want to miss that is ending this afternoon. It's a nano-sized campaign. It is started Monday, ends today. So get in there. Really cool little it's credit card sized.
Credit card sized.
Yep.
Yes.
Awesome.
So, all right.
Great. So that's it, guys. We'll go ahead and we're going to do a raid, I think. Sweet. So just hang in there. Jimmy and Brandon will do that. We'll raid another channel. Thank you guys for joining us.
So
And-
we're gonna hop over to some folks who are looks like the Master Goblin Games. They run some game stores. Looks like they're doing some painting streams right now with the
Paint.
the Mice and Mystics
Mice and
figure
Mystics
stuff.
games.
So
Those are fun.
Oh, cool.
throw
Those are
some
good
painting.
games.
So throw over some more painting streams for you guys.
Awesome.
So
Well,
let
thanks
me,
for joining us, guys. We'll see you next week for maybe some Pathfinder Revolution. Maybe even jump in as soon as next week. So see you then.